It's that time again, time to name my losers of the week, my selections for the best of the worst. So let's begin with this. Folks, we well know Trump derangement syndrome cannot be cured. Even if there was a vaccine for it, it probably wouldn't prevent transmission or spread. So for now, the pandemic of TDS rages on. And look no further than Democrat Congresswoman from the Virgin Islands, a non-voting member, thank goodness, Stacey Plaskett, who asserted then quickly swallowed her desire for Trump's assassination.
Having Trump not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
The words shot and stopped are very different, so I'm not entirely sure how this slip of the tongue happened, unless, of course, she takes linguistic lessons from Joe Biden or John Fetterman. But either way, can you imagine the uproar if a Republican official recommended assassination of a current or a former Democrat president? Alas, the double standard is the only standard the left abides by. But speaking of standards, you guys ever heard of body mass index? Yeah, it's a pretty standard measurement of body fat based on height and weight, and it's often used as a screening tool for obesity, something America has a real big problem with. But leave it to new woke science to declare that measurement and gauge of health to be, wait for it, racist and rooted in white supremacy. Yeah, here we freaking go again. The American Medical Association has declared the measurement of BMI should be ditched because it's based on antiquated standards of non-Hispanic white bodies and doesn't consider other races. I guess obesity now has a diversity, equity, and inclusion score, and likely so does diabetes and heart disease. This is truly unbelievable. Science and medicine is now dictated by feelings and microaggressions. Is it really a wonder America is the fattest country with heart disease as our #1 killer? Pop culture tells us obesity is cool, and now doctors have to tiptoe around virtue signals to address true health concerns, lest they accidentally apply logic to their practice. So now I guess Americans can die of a number of obesity-related ailments, but at least they'll die woke and less offended. What a win. But you know who else won this week? Deadbeat Dad of the Year, Hunter Biden. Not only did he get a sweetheart plea deal for his tax evasion and illegal possession of a firearm, he also managed to reduce his child support payments to the mother of the young daughter he fails to acknowledge. So because Hunter Biden settled with his baby mama, London Roberts, out of court, we will never know the amount he has agreed to pay, but we do know it will be reduced from the $20K a month he was ordered to pay and has been fighting tooth and nail to reduce. The piece of crap received millions from foreign entities sitting on boards of companies he had no skills to sit on, but he can't pony up $20K a month for his innocent 4-year-old daughter? A daughter he refuses to lend his last name to, and a granddaughter the big guy Brandon still refuses to acknowledge at all. Maybe if she comes out as transgender, Joe will acknowledge her, but, I won't hold my breath. These Bidens, man, they really have brought decency and morality back to the White House as promised. To date, we, and yes, I mean we, the American people, have sent a whopping $113 billion to protect and defend Ukraine. Yes, all the while leaving our own border like an open, oozing, and pussing sore of national insecurity. But in case you thought the endless flow of dollars to Ukraine, more accurately Zelensky, was drying up anytime soon, well, no. That tracksuit-wearing con artist still has a blank check and more money is on the way. Surprise! Christmas has come early for Zelensky now that the Pentagon identified a bookkeeping error that will free up even more money for Ukraine funding. Apparently, the Pentagon overestimated the value of the weapons it has sent to Ukraine by $6.2 billion over the past 2 years, resulting in a surplus that will be used for future security packages. Oh, goody! As if the $113 billion wasn't enough, now Ukraine will have more to work with in this never-ending war they cannot and will not win without endless and continual propping up by you and me, the American taxpayer. Now, don't get me wrong, I support the Ukrainian cause and the Ukrainian people. But let's take off the rose-colored and politically correct glasses here and be honest. This is unsustainable. And it's not just the war that's going to cost us, it's the aftermath that's going to cost us too. The The World Bank, Ukrainian government, the European Commission, and the UN estimate reconstruction and recovery of Ukraine will cost about $411 billion after 1 year of war. Damn, I don't know about y'all, but that's a little rich for my blood. We've got homeless veterans on our street corners that are supposed to fend for themselves, but we've got the cash to defend Ukraine in perpetuity? At some point, enough is enough. These two nations should be coming to the bargaining table and working out a diplomatic solution, but that'll never happen so long as we keep funneling money into Zelensky's ego. Ukraine ain't gonna win this unless we go over there and we win it for them, and then guess what? We are in a full-blown war with Russia on behalf of Ukraine. Are y'all cool with that? Because I'm not. The military-industrial complex loves that idea, and so do the neocons and the dirty Democrats who benefit, but we the people do not. But hey, since those who run the U.S. military are now about wokeness and rainbows instead of combat and mission readiness, perhaps you could spare this brave queen to go over and fight for Ukraine. I'm sure he will have Putin just shaking in his boots. But the moral of the story here is this. If we aren't willing to fight and fund our own interests, we shouldn't be fighting and funding the interests of another nation, period. End of story.